Rape is the crime of a coward. Rapists in the ranks are masquerading as real members of our military, because our military is not about cowards. Now, our military does an amazing job of training. I am so proud of our military. But unfortunately, I believe that this is not a crime that we're going to train our way out of. It's a crime of assault, power, domination. And I believe, based on my years of experience, that the only way that victims of sexual assault are going to feel empowered in the military is when they finally believe that the focus on the military is to get these guys and put them in prison. So I believe that the focus of our efforts should be on effective prosecution. And what do we need to do to make sure that these investigations are done promptly and professionally, that the victims are wrapped in good information, solid support, and legal advice, that the prosecutors have the wherewithal and the resources to go forward in a timely and aggressive way, and you don't have the ability of some general somewhere who's never heard the testimony of factual witnesses in a consent case can wipe it out with a stroke of a pen. I would like to hear from you, especially those whose cases were more recent. What happened when you reported in terms of getting good legal information about what your rights were and what to expect?
Thank you, Senator McCaskill. As mentioned, I had none. When my friend notified me that he had found the pictures of my rape online, again, it was actually kind of a spur of the moment decision. I was like, okay, enough's enough. This has gone on long enough. I'm going to do an investigation. Like, this is ridiculous.
We know that there is a huge number of these cases, that there's never a restricted or an unrestricted report. And just so we make the record clear, a restricted report is kept for 5 years, an unrestricted report is kept for 20 years.
I believe those just changed. I believe that restricted reports now are to be kept for 50, but previously there was a much lower cap on that, correct?
Okay, well, whatever the amount is, the difference between a restricted report and an unrestricted report is how timely we can get after it. Because if it's a restricted report, it's not going to be investigated.
Correct. You basically just become a statistic.
So if, in fact, one of the reasons you made your report restricted was the unique nature of the victim being embedded with her perpetrator in a work environment that is intense and depends on working together, what would have happened when you went in if you were told that if there is probable cause found in the next 30 days that this crime was committed, your perpetrator would be removed from the unit? What would your response have been?
It probably would have been worth considering. When you're in the middle of it, you look back on it with kind of 2020 or Monday morning quarterback style, and you're like, oh, I can look back on this and be like, oh, I might have done it differently. But I mean, when you're in the middle of it, it's extremely difficult to be able to think clearly. I mean, it's a huge trauma. It affects your mental health. It affects how you see the world, how you see yourself.
Is your perpetrator still in the Navy?
I honestly don't know, and at this point, I hope that I've moved far enough away from it that I honestly don't care. It has to be about me at this point, not what my perpetrator did.
Well, I appreciate that, but I care. Just so you know.
I appreciate that, Senator.
I care.
But honestly, when the situation came to light, there was an eerie silence that emanated from the JAG office. There was no effective legal situation that I could access, Senator.
I do want to say that I've spent a number of hours with amazing professional prosecutors in the area of sexual assault at the Pentagon on Monday. Decades of experience, and I do feel that there is some progress being made in some branches, some more than others, recognizing that they have failed. at getting after this and doing what our military usually does best, and that is focus on a mission and make it happen. And what you all are doing today allows us to focus on the mission to get the coward rapists out of the ranks.